Welcome. This is a TUF 12 recap. Every week we're going to be here with the guys, Mr. Andy Main and Mr. Jeff Lentz. Season started last night. After a long time, guys, you guys finally got a chance to talk about the series. You guys saw, we finally saw who makes it into the house. Both of you guys made it successfully. Talk about your experience. Jeff, you first. Let's talk about your experience just getting down there, the whole atmosphere at first before your fight.
Before the fight, the experience of getting down there was awesome. It was just like walking into that gym and stuff. It was like, it was hard to believe that we were actually there. It was like, felt like we were just going through a dream. Like, all right, I'm gonna wake up any minute, Till I seen everybody, I seen Dana, I seen everybody, and they're calling off names for fights. I'm like, oh shit, we're here, And everything worked out well, obviously, so far, so good.
Yeah. What was it like for you? I mean, you're getting this, you go through this whole, trying out process in North Carolina. There's a lot of talking, back and forth. If you're on, if you're off, sign this, sign that. Finally, you're there. You see Koscheck and GSP walk in with Dana White. What was going through your head at that moment?
I mean, really, the whole thing never really hit home until I walked into the house, after I made it in. Everything before that, I was just kind of looking forward, taking it one step at a time. Obviously, I was pretty sure that we were going to have to fight to get into the house, so I was basically focused on that. I was just treating it like any other fight. Well, actually, the most important fight of my life, but I treat every fight like that. And, so I was just prepared, and, I mean, everything was awesome. It was, again, like Jeff said, it's surreal. Like, it's like, wow, like GSP and Koscheck and Dana White are just standing there talking to you. It is an odd feeling at first, but, my mind was so focused on the fight at that time that the whole surrealness didn't really hit me until we moved into the house.
How far in advance did you actually know when you're fighting, who you're fighting and how quickly? What was the time period when you found out?
After weigh-ins, they told us they started calling off fights, and that's when we found out who we were fighting. So it was only the day before after weigh-ins. I met Dan Head at casting finals, actually in the van, and he rubbed me the wrong way from the first time I met him. I was just like, yo, this guy sucks. And, I mean, it is what it is. It worked out for the best, As I hear them call out Dan Head, I'm like, Jeff Lentz, and I got it. So I was happy with the choices.
That's good. Andy, what about you, man? Did you know anything about the guy you fought?
I didn't really know much about him at all, no. I mean, like you said, we didn't find out to the day before, and then even before that, like, we didn't know. They did a good job at keeping it secret who else was on the show. We each got the call, but even when we got there, we moved into the to the hotel before we moved into the house, and they kept us completely separated. Like, you might have saw somebody, like one of the other fighters. You really didn't know who else was going to be there. So there was really no preparing, and then we had no way to look anybody up at that point. So it was just basically, play your own game. I mean, the day of the fight, people were walking around trying to, figure out tidbits about their opponents. But, for the most part, the guys who just went in there confident, they won. And what the show doesn't show about Dan Head is he went up to GSP telling him that he was going to be the first person to win an MMA fight by homicide. So we were all happy to see Jeff turn the tables on that one.
A la Frank Mir and Donald Cerrone, apparently. But Andy, let's talk about your fight. I know you were a little disappointed as well because your fight wasn't featured per se; it was highlighted. So you saw a quick glance of the actual bout. Tell us about the fight and what we didn't get to see.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty exciting fight. I mean, basically the kid came out pretty fast with some strikes. My game plan with this guy was just to take him down. Again, I didn't know much about him, so I just decided to go with my strength, wrestle, take him down, and try to submit him. But he was a scrappy dude. I took him down. He bounced up to his feet. They did show me for just a second a clip where I was on his back. I took his back standing. I was working a choke for a little bit. He held out. He shook me off, and then I was able to take him down one more time. And he tried to bridge up again, and that time I slapped on that triangle as we were going over and was able to finish the fight.
Jeff, your fight was a little different. Your fight was actually featured. You saw the whole thing pretty much. And you also saw some antics from GSP to Dana White before the fight, which you didn't know about. Now getting a chance to see it again. GSP crossed your name out, told Dana White that you were not going to win this fight. And then Koscheck actually defended you, saying, hey, you never know, it's MMA. You go out there, you pummel him.
I didn't know any of that going into the fight, but they say it was based on, GSP was just basing it on Dan Head's confidence and cockiness levels. Like Andy said, he was in the locker room and he was saying he was going to win by the first MMA homicide ever. I don't know why he would base it on his cockiness, but I don't know. It didn't work out for him very well, did it?